5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Magnolia Live!
Welcome to Magnolia Live. I'm Keisha, your host. Today I wanted to speak with you about girls in sports. Are girls really into sports? Do they really like sports? Well, the answer is yes. Absolutely yes. Millions of girls and women around the world genuinely love sports, both as players and as dedicated fans. Because sports fandom isn't limited to one gender, women engage with athletics in a variety of ways. They are passionate fans, active players, and casual viewers. Just like with guys, a girl's interest in sports simply comes down to personal taste. Some live and breathe it, while others have no interest at all. I happen to love sports. Football is my favorite, but I'll waste any day watching basketball. And watching tennis is great also. Tennis is played by hitting the ball back and forth over the net so the opponent cannot return it. Points are scored as love, which means 0, 15, 30, and 40. Winning 4 points wins the game, 6 games win a set, and winning 2 or 3 sets wins the match. There's this joke. Why are tennis players so bad at marriage? It's because to them, love means nothing. Speaking of love, here's the story of what's going on with the sports we love.
Hey Magnolia, this is John here with your weekly sports report. So, most of us were expecting an NFL trade on Monday. However, we wound up with one deal that will drastically shake up the 2026 season and one of the trades ranked among the biggest in NFL history. The Los Angeles Rams made a stunning deal to acquire the two-time Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, giving up Pro Bowler edge Jared Verse and 3 picks in next year's draft. Garrett, 30, is the first reigning Defensive Player of the Year to be traded in NFL history. And the move comes a year after he set the NFL single-season sack record, logging 23 sacks in 2025. I think he'll be a good fit with the Rams and give them something they do not have. He's got a lot of gas left in the tank. Sometimes a good player like that will up his game even further in a new environment. I feel like the Browns got a lot in return, especially now that Myles is in his 10th year. Will the Rams cash in on the Super Bowl, or will the Browns become a contender? Time will only tell, my friends. Moving right along, the New York Knicks and San Antonio Spurs tip off the 1999 Finals rematch today, and the winner will become the 8th unique champion in the past 8 seasons. Will Wemby cement his early rise to NBA dominance, or will Jalen Brunson, captain for the Knicks, capture his first NBA title in 53 years? Now, led by Brunson, who has already placed himself amongst one of the Mount Rushmores of all-time great Knicks, New York comes roaring into the finals, having ripped off 11 straight victories. That's only the greatest 11-game stretch any team has played in the 80 years of existence. Now, Wemby is stepping up as the most dominant big man in the league. He can control the ball, drain some three-pointers, And if he rips off another 41-point performance, the Knicks are in trouble. Will New York be ready to slay the dragon? Or will Wemby be the greatest next to Shaquille O'Neal? Well, that's all for the sports, Magnolia. And remember, stay classy, Cleveland.
Thank you, John, for that report. Guess what, you guys? John McEnroe gave me his broken tennis racket. No strings attached. Now, here's our quote for the week.
Hi, this is Jasmine with this week's quote by Tupac Shakur. I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. That's all for this week's quote of the week. Back with more news.
That was an awesome quote, Clubhouse. You want to know something? I wish they changed the scoring system in tennis, but tennis is set in its ways and doesn't see the point. You know what the most depressing thing about tennis is? You'll never be as good as a wall. Here's our health and wellness topic.
Hello, Magnolia Clubhouse. This is Calvin with this week's health report. June is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, so this week we are discussing Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Alzheimer's disease is progressive neurodegenerative brain disorder and the most common cause of dementia, which accounts for 60 to 80% of cases of those with Alzheimer's disease. The exact cause is complex and combination of genetics, life changes, and brain age-related changes. Early warning signs include difficulty with familiar tasks. For example, some people may struggle in navigating the familiar locations and forgetting rules to their favorite game. Confusion for time or place. For example, a person may forget where they are or how they got there. Changes in personality. For example, unusually confused, suspicious, depressed, fearful, or anxious, or becoming easily upset when out of their comfort zone. And many more signs. If you or a loved one are experiencing several of these signs, especially they disrupt daily life or are persistent, it is highly recommended to consult a hair care professional and treatable conditions such as vitamin deficiency or medication side effects that can cause symptoms. It is important to seek help because the illness unfortunately progresses over time. Symptoms will increase over many years and will continue to interfere with everyday tasks, not just memory loss, but also difficulty planning, managing bills, household cleaning. It is being easily disorientated. If you or a loved one are suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia, try to break the complex things down into smaller, easy to follow steps. Communicate clearly using simple sentences and try to keep clutter-free space. Those will help to prevent falls and create a calming environment. This is a health wellness report. Now back to Magnolia News.
Hey Clubhouse! Today we are going to be talking about what makes a well-balanced meal. A well-balanced meal gives your body the nutrients it needs for the energy, growth, and overall health. A simple way to build a balanced meal is to include foods from different food groups. Half of your plate should be fruits or vegetables, which provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber. 1/4 of your plate should be lean proteins such as chicken, fish, beans, eggs, or tofu, which helps to build and repair your muscles. The remaining quarter should be whole grains like brown rice, whole wheat bread, quinoa, which provide lasting energy. Don't forget healthy fats either, such as like avocados, nuts, seeds, or olive oil. And for a drink, choose water or low-fat milk instead of sugary drinks when possible. An example of a well-balanced meal could be like grilled chicken with brown rice, white rice, steamed broccoli, a side salad, and a piece of fruit. Eating a balanced meal can help improve energy, support mental and physical health, and keep your body functioning at its best. Thank you for listening, Clubhouse. Bye.
People joke about food and women in the kitchen all of the time, right? Well, I have a joke. Why do female basketball players love cookies? Drum roll, please. because they can't dunk them. Up next is our standard.
Hello, Magnolia Clubhouse. I am Air with this week's standard. Standard 3 is members choose the way they utilize the clubhouse and the staff with whom they work there. There are no agreements, no contracts or schedules or rules intended to enforce participation of members. Please discuss this with your unit staff. Now back to more news.
American football, often referred to as just football, is a sport played by two teams. Each team has 11 players, and the one team with possession of the ball attempts to advance down the field. I've got another joke. What did the receiver say to the woman he was dating? I've got my eyes on you, but I'm open. Here's a shout out from Ryan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a huge shout out to give. I've got David here. He was here for Memorial Day. We had about 75 people. And before we left, were all the dishes done, David?
Yes, they was. I suppose I scripted out the pot. That was the last thing I did because they had like burnt stuff at the bottom.
David did all of those dishes. Him and Ross were in the kitchen, and we just want to say thank you so much, David. We appreciate everything that you do. You have anything you want to say to the people?
Yes, I just want to say thanks for letting me come on the Memorial Day to do all the dishes to help you out and then assist every person that showed up and came that was signed on the list, the sheet for the holiday and for Memorial Day. And thanks to the ones who came.
All right. Well, that's a shout out. This one goes to David and Ross. Now back to more news.
You know what? In football, the team with the most points at the end of the game wins. In the case of a tie, the game goes into overtime. This is an intense moment for both teams as each team has an opportunity to score a touchdown to win the game. I have a joke. Why was Cinderella such a lousy football player? Because her coach was a pumpkin. That's it from Magnolia Live, you guys. Hope you all enjoyed the show, and we hope to see you back here next week. Bye.
If you're living with mental illness, join the club.